Hi, good day. I am Don Reynolds G. Velasco from BIT to JG1, and this is my midterm project for great books. Um, this is the book entitled The Five People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. Sorry if I'm wearing a mask because I have cough po. The Five People You Meet in Heaven is a novel which follows the life and death of a man named Eddie. In the novel, Eddie is killed and sent to heaven, and when arriving in heaven, he meets the most he, he meets with the five people who had the most significant impact on his life when he was alive. Mitch Albom, the author of the book entitled The Five People You Meet in Heaven, is an internationally renowned and best-selling author, journalist, screenwriter, playwright, radio and television broadcaster, and musician. His books have collectively sold more than 40 million copies worldwide, have been published in 49 territories and in 45 languages around the world, and have been made into Emmy Award-winning and critically acclaimed television movies. His book, The Five People You Meet in Heaven, follows the life of Eddie through life and death. Eddie is an 83 years old man working at Ruby Pier. Ruby Pier is an attraction and amusement park for all ages, and Eddie has been a ride operator and mechanic for many years already. Little did he know, today is the last day of his life. Eddie doesn't know it, but one of the rides will fail and he will be crushed by a passenger cart while trying to save a young girl whose name was Annie. After his death trying to save the girl named Annie, Eddie goes to heaven and meets five people. Instead of experiencing what others so-called Garden of Paradise, Eddie finds heaven to be a place where his life on earth was experienced to him by a number of people. People whom he did and did not know of. Each person helps Eddie understand different parts and the unseen connection of his life. The first person he meets is the blue man from Freak show on the pier, who died when Eddie was 8 years old. In heaven, the man tells Eddie his life story, and the lesson Eddie is to learn from the first person in that there are no random acts. All lives are interconnected, and fairness does not govern life or death. The second person meets is his captain from the war. Four of his men, including Eddie, were captured with him in the Philippines. The captain was killed by a landmine, and as they were escaping after several months as captives of brutal enemy soldiers, he discovers in the second encounter in heaven that his captain shot him in order to save from being burned in the tent. The lesson he learns is that no one dies for nothing, and that when you sacrifice something precious, such as a leg, you always gain something. The third person Eddie meets is a woman named Ruby, for whom Ruby Pier was named long before Eddie's time. The lesson he learns from this encounter is taught by Ruby. She tells him that anger is self-destructive and that he must forgive. The third person Eddie meets is his wife, Margaret, who died from brain tumor. The lesson that he learns from this fourth encounter is that lost love is still love. It just takes a different form. Although life has to end, love doesn't. That's true. The fifth the fifth person Eddie meets is a little girl named Tala, whom he tried to rescue in the burning tent in the Philippines in the war. She tells him that he was where he was supposed to be, keeping children safe on the rides for her sake. She also tells him that he did, in fact, save the girl from the falling cart and that as he died, the hands he felt in his were that the hands he felt in his were her own, Tala's. She was bringing him to heaven to keep him safe, she tells him. At last, Eddie feels peace and was transformed back to his wife to spend eternity with her in heaven. In conclusion, every event and every situation is connected. What happens through your eyes can be completely different than what happens through someone else's eyes. People have different perspectives, different experiences, and come from different places. This should be a wake-up call that what we see and what is somehow different from others, and that what sometimes believe that is easy for us might not to be the case for another. That's it. Thank you.